Hey guys, welcome back to the channel, and today we're gonna do a recap because if you guys were watching my previous videos, we got the bounce on different stocks just like we have been talking about in previous videos. So before that, just a quick disclaimer. This is not financial advice and I'm not your financial advisor. I am Ghosty, and after navigating enough market cycles, I've learned that logic and clear signals beat hype and narratives every time. On this channel, we skip the noise and go straight into the charts, data, and the factors that build my thesis. No fluff, no filler, just alpha. So let's start with it. So as you guys watch my previous videos, I was waiting for this zone to start accumulating. So we had the gap fill below. We kind of almost tested, and I dabbled with a small position because I like to be defensive. You know, this could have potentially gone even lower than we went. So I like to scale in my position. So if we had gone more down, basically I had more money to add and lower my cost basis. So because I was being defensive, I only got a small starter size, but we are getting the bounce we have been discussing in previous videos. And from the low to now, we got basically an 18% move from the lows in just basically three trading sessions. So we got that one. Now let's go to the other one, which is SMR. So on SMR it was the same mindset, right? We SMR has been beaten down a lot. I actually talk about how this support wasn't gonna hold. We actually got into our buying zone, and the same thing here, guys. Like always, protecting downside risk, and the way I do that is buying on the correct levels and learning how to scale in the position. So scaling in is something super important. So the same thing happened because I was protecting my downside. I didn't got my whole full position. But remember, guys, I was talking about this specific zone. There was a lot of high probability demand, and we're getting that bounce. So we're getting the bounce. We got basically an 80% bounce. And I'm gonna take some small profits once we reach this resistance, because basically this was a resistance, now becomes support. So we should see a little bit of rejection here. Even if it wants to keep going higher potentially, we should see some rejection over here. So now going with LUNR. So LUNR, right? Well, the same mentality. We wanted to buy near this gap and support we had here, but I'm seeing this one a little bit. Um, I'm seeing this one a little bit potentially weaker than the other ones. We got a 17% bounce with, which is good, but we're approaching these massive resistance. So I'm gonna be watching this carefully because we could potentially roll over. So now let's go to Apple. So just a quick recap on this one. I mean, I was calling for a short level here. We got the pullback. Now we're bouncing because the market's bouncing today. But in reality, this was the short level. But I just wanted you guys to see how patterns on charts give you probability, because if you go to my previous video and you see how I analyze the Apple versus the SMH. I told you guys this was a strong resistance, and I said price would likely reject from here, and see, we're getting that rejection. So something to keep an eye on. Let's go and talk about iron really quick. So if you guys see my iron videos and all of the recaps I've been doing, I actually even predicted this was we're gonna have a green day here, volume on the 3-day candle. I explicitly said that on one of my previous videos. So we're having just right that, we're having a bounce, and I'm seeing these rejection on this key area. So I mean, if we reclaim here, I'll become way more bullish on iron. But if we don't, and if we reject here and eventually retest this and break to a downside, this would still be an active buying zone on iron, right? And as you guys know, I've also been watching the iron versus NDX. So I wanted, I wanted price getting even more here so I could size in more, but I never got that entry I was waiting. Sometimes I miss some plays, I don't catch perfectly, I make a lot of mistakes too. But analyzing and understanding charts, you can limit those mistakes. So I mean, we could easily like retest here or gaining back, and that will give me more a signal. So now I'm gonna talk about RKLB. So on RKLB, I saw something interesting. So we basically have here this resistance zone. I also saw a key trend line. So see, basically, if we connect this trend line with this pivot, see, we already got a bounce here, and we're bouncing right now. But if you guys compare this one to other tickers on the market, like, this is not a strong bounce, we're barely holding in. So let's take a look at the RSI. So we're oversold on the RSI, the most we have been since November 2025. So let me put this in regular log. Okay, perfect. So if we take a look at the chart, here we have a big resistance zone over here. So I mean, we could potentially put a spike here, but I think eventually this is gonna roll over. It's gonna roll over. I really think so. It's looking kind of weak. I didn't like this bounce on this one, and I'm waiting for this key level to get tagged eventually. We could for sure have a bounce, but I mean, if we just break, yeah, this will be our next potential target on RKLB. And just finalizing the video, let's look our ONDS chart. So I have been talking about many times about this key trend line, right? We broke the trend line. We finally broke the trend line here. We're reclaiming this resistance. But remember, guys, I was telling you, like, when price was here, I remember I had drawn this support, and this support. So I told you guys, like, it's possible we could even reach this low, but we didn't, at least this time around. But we actually hit this first support and this first support. So I protected you guys from quick decent downside, like an 18% move to a downside. You could have accumulated cheaper. We're kind of reclaiming this, but we're rejecting. So I'm gonna monitor price to see how price gonna behave the next week, so I can get better information. Right now I don't have a high conviction call like the short. I alerted a lot of people on X here. Actually, I want you to guys see it. So let's look for the ONDS short before I started my YouTube channel. So let's find it really quick. Okay, so here, this was the short. Okay, I found it. So in March 6th, basically, I said, guys, we're currently on a bear flag channel. We have a lot of resistance. 2 reasons to be careful here on ONDS, either zone to take profits or to start shorts. So this one, March 6th, and basically I had this drawn out, right? March 6th. So let's take a quick look where it was exactly. So I alerted here, right? So we were here, and we actually went up and then had the big crash. And if you guys take a look, that's what happened, you know. So we had the big fall off. So that was a high conviction short call. So I'm waiting to see what's gonna happen, you know. We could either, from here we could even spike, or we could even have more and more potential drawdown. So I just prefer to be careful right now. The opportunity was buying on this support levels that I drawn for a potential bounce like we had. So I mean, if you guys enjoyed the video, please share, comment, subscribe on X, follow me on X, and DM me to have access to our free Discord. Our Discord is gonna be free until 10 more members come in. After that, it's gonna be super exclusive. So take advantage of that now.